Welcome back to Real Reddit Moments, where we explore troubled family stories, moments when love is tested by the weight of life, and the "am I a bad person?" questions that make you think deeply about the value of a gift. Today, we delve into a deeply sensitive and complex story that raises questions about the boundaries of sacrifice, ownership, and the importance of truth. What happens when a gift made with all your heart becomes a means of making money in the most desperate of times? The story is titled AITA for selling the painting my husband painted to give to his mother because I needed money. Is OP a selfish and disrespectful wife, a victim of difficult circumstances who was forced to act, or someone who made a bad decision that had major consequences in the relationship? Find out and let us know what you think. This story comes from Reddit user DesperateWifeOP. We'll call her OP, a wife who is facing a difficult financial situation. OP and her husband, whom we'll call husband Mark, are going through an extremely difficult financial situation. Mark has either lost his job or his job has been severely disrupted, severely impacting the family's income. They are struggling to pay bills, rent, and daily necessities. OP is feeling a lot of pressure. Mark is a talented amateur artist. He has spent months working on a beautiful painting, a portrait or landscape in particular, with the intention of giving it to his mother, whom we will call mother-in-law, MIL, Carol, as a birthday or Christmas present. The painting is not only a work of art, but also a symbol of Mark's love and respect for his mother. In her most desperate moment, when bills were piling up and there was no other way to earn money, OP made a reckless and desperate decision. She knew that Mark loved the painting and that it held deep sentimental meaning, but she thought that it was a family asset and could help them through the current hardship. OP secretly sold the painting online or through someone she knew who was interested in art. She received a decent amount of money, enough to cover her most pressing bills and buy some necessities for the family. OP did this without consulting Mark. She thought that when things settled down, she could make it up to him. The story broke when Emil Carroll asked Mark about the gift of the painting. Mark was initially confused. Then he searched for the painting to put on the final touches or wrap it. He searched the house, but couldn't find the painting. Mark asked OP. OP tried to deny it, but finally, under pressure from Mark, she had to confess everything. She sold the painting. OP explained that she did it because they were in serious financial trouble and she needed money to help her family. She didn't want to worry Mark anymore, so she acted alone. Mark was completely shocked and angry. He couldn't believe what OP had done. To him, it wasn't just a painting, but a piece of his soul, a sentimental gift to his mother, and an act of betrayal from his wife. Mark felt that OP had crossed the line, selling a special gift without consulting him, just for money. He felt betrayed, deeply hurt, and could not forgive this action. Mark's whole family, especially MIL Carroll, were also shocked and disappointed. OP felt like she did the right thing to save her finances, but was seen as a bad person by her husband and his family. She wondered, AITA, am I a bad person for selling a sentimental gift for money? OP's post exploded on Reddit, garnering tens of thousands of comments and hundreds of thousands of upvotes. The thread sparked a heated debate about morality, trust in marriage, and the importance of emotional value over material value. Supporters. They were extremely few in number, mostly focused on the fact that OP was in dire financial straits and acted for her family. NTA. You're doing what's necessary to keep your family alive. He should understand that. Sometimes money is more important than sentiment. This comment was often heavily criticized and downvoted by the community. NTA about the intention to save the family, but YTA about the method. You should talk to him first. But your financial situation is clearly dire, neutral. Some of the comments in this group acknowledged that both parties were at fault, but emphasized that OP's actions had far more serious consequences and a lack of trust. ESH. Mark should have been aware of the extent of your financial hardship and could have helped you find a solution. But OP, you committed a serious breach of trust by selling a personal and sentimental item without consulting him. This is a tragedy of a situation. OP acted out of desperation, but that action broke trust. It's unfortunate. The vast majority of the Reddit community has been harshly critical of OP, stating that she/he is a terrible person for selling a sentimental gift without her husband's consent, breaking trust and hurting his feelings. YTA. Absolutely YTA. It was a gift made from the heart for his mother. It's not an inanimate object that you can sell when you need money. You betrayed his trust, hurt his relationship with his mother, and destroyed a personal piece of art. You chose money over trust and affection. This comment received tens of thousands of upvotes and multiple Reddit awards. You took away his gift-giving power. You took away MIL's joy. And you did it behind your husband's back. There's no excuse for that. In a relationship, trust is everything. You broke it. No matter how much you needed the money, selling something with such sentimental value without asking is unacceptable. You sold a piece of his soul for a little bit of money. Hopefully, you've sorted out the financial issue, because now you have a much bigger marital issue. You're treating your husband's assets and creativity as if they were commodities that you can do with as you please. That's not okay. Apart from the strong comments from all sides, one comment really hit the emotional nerve and resonated with many because it highlighted the emotional loss and betrayal in the relationship. YTA. Money can be earned back, but the trust and sentimental meaning of a personal, handmade gift cannot. You took away not just a gift, but an act of love, a gesture from a son to his mother. Your actions are a deeply personal betrayal. This is a scar that will never heal in your relationship. This comment received thousands of upvotes and awards, representing the strong YTA views and sharp reasoning. The Reddit community not only gave their verdict, but also actively engaged and expanded this topic into many deeper discussions. Financials in marriage, a lively debate about the importance of transparency and communication in managing family finances. Asset ownership, discussing who has the right to decide on assets in a marriage, especially assets with sentimental value. The value of handmade gifts, emphasizing the priceless value of handmade and labor-intensive gifts, not only in terms of material value, but also in terms of sentimentality. Betrayal of trust, discussions on how to repair lost trust in a relationship. Personal experience, countless stories of financial problems affecting relationships and the importance of facing them together. Overall, the Reddit community has strongly condemned OP's actions, calling them disrespectful, a betrayal of trust, and a breach of emotional value. After receiving a barrage of harsh comments from the Reddit community, OP has had to face the harsh reality of the situation. She has some important updates on what happened next and how she feels now. Summary of updates. Marriage on the brink. OP and Mark's relationship is on the brink of collapse. Mark feels deeply betrayed and is considering separation. He can no longer trust OP. Mill's anger, MIL. Carol is also very angry and frustrated. She feels violated and does not want to talk to OP. Ultimate regret. OP is completely devastated with regret. She realizes the severity of her actions, not only financially, but also emotionally and trust-wise. She wishes she had talked to Mark first, no matter how difficult it was. Attempting to make amends, OP has tried to apologize to Mark and MIL many times, promising to make up for it, but Mark is still very angry and hurt. He says that the money is not as important as the fact that the painting was a gift to his mother and was created with all his heart. Financial situation is still difficult. Although the money from the sale of the painting has solved part of the urgent problem, it is only temporary. Their overall financial situation is still very difficult, and now there is the added burden of a marital crisis. OP now feels desperate, extremely remorseful, and extremely afraid of losing her husband. She realizes that she has made a serious mistake that cannot be corrected. Although her actions were born out of desperation, it has destroyed the core trust in the relationship. OP is facing the most severe consequences, not only financially, but also emotionally, and the breakdown of the family. OP's story is a painful lesson in the unintended consequences of lack of communication, disrespect for personal property, and trust in a marriage. It highlights core issues of finances, emotional value, and the importance of transparency. Conflicting emotions in the story OP's. Initially, anxiety, financial pressure, leading to desperation and reckless action. Then, horror, shock, and utter regret at her husband's reaction. Finally, despair, fear, and bleakness when facing the future. Husband, Marks. Initially, devotion and love in creating the gift. Then, shock, anger, betrayal, and deep sorrow when discovering the truth. Mill Carroll's. Initially, anticipation of a meaningful gift. Then, disappointment, sadness, and anger when learning the gift was sold. From the Reddit community, from outrage for OP, to empathy for Mark and Mill, to reasoned analysis of ethics, marriage, and trust. The Reddit community, in this case, acted as a powerful court of justice and a voice of social conscience. They delivered a near-absolute verdict, criticizing OP's actions and emphasizing their severity. While that criticism may have been harsh on OP, it was also a clear reminder of the boundaries of acceptable behavior in a marital relationship. This proves that Reddit can be a place to seek the naked truth and objective consequences, no matter how painful that truth may be. Character analysis OP, the perpetrator, represents an individual who acted out of financial desperation, but made a serious mistake in how they handled the matter, breaking the trust of their loved ones. Husband, Mark, represents a man with an artistic heart who values affection and trust in a relationship. He is a victim of betrayal, suffering not only physical, but also mental pain. Emil Carroll, another innocent victim, losing a meaningful gift from her son and facing family tension. Lessons learned. Communication is key in marriage. In all situations, especially financial ones, transparency and open communication with your partner are paramount. Unilateral decisions, even with good intentions, can have disastrous consequences. Emotional value over material value. Some things have priceless, sentimental value that money cannot buy. Selling a special gift made with love without the consent of the owner or giver is a serious disrespect. Trust is the foundation of a relationship. Hiding and selling off your partner's assets, especially sentimental assets, breaks the core trust that is difficult to rebuild. Desperation is no excuse. No matter how difficult the situation, there are always other ways to deal with it. Violations of trust and emotional damage cannot be excused by desperation. Respect, personal ownership, and creativity. Even in marriage, each individual has their own assets or creative works that are unique to them. Disposing of them without consent is disrespectful. Consequences of hiding the truth. The truth will always come out, and trying to hide it only increases the severity of the consequences when it comes out. OP's story is a clear example of how in life, hasty, thoughtless decisions can lead to unforeseen consequences, destroying what we hold most dear. It's a poignant reminder of the importance of transparency, trust, and mutual respect in any relationship, especially marriage. Because sometimes the value of a gift is not in the amount of money it brings, but in the sentiment and dedication put into it. What do you think about this story? If you were OP, how would you handle this difficult financial situation? Have you ever encountered a situation where your trust was tested because of money? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Thank you for following Real Reddit Moments. See you in the next story.